It's 12:18, February 11th, Wednesday. Sustainability Advisory Committee. I'm calling the committee to order so we can go topics. Any public comments? Take it a no. So the second item is approval of previous meeting minutes.
Yes, so we did have, I think Cliff had a couple edits on the last meeting, and I submitted them to the town perhaps a day or two late, but
Okay. That's a minute.
yes, been submitted.
Okay.
Mohan, do you want to admit the note taker? Sorry to interrupt. I see that you haven't initiated the notes.
I did before, but I'm going to do it again. That's why. 2 instances for some reason. Oh, okay. So do we vote on the minutes?
Yeah, so motion to approve as amended and submitted to the town because they needed to be submitted within that week. And so that's why I submitted them because we kind of went back and forth. So so motion to approve as amended and submitted to the town.
So moved.
Favor. Good. Everybody's favor. Good. Great.
Yes. So the next topic I really want to talk about is the topics we're going to work on this year, because one of the requests we had for John, our selectman, is to increase the committee size back to 7. And his ask was, if you guys can let me know what key topics you're working on for this year, and then where the capacity gap is, and then we can take it to the selectman committee, and then they can advise us back. So I think if you had sent out a few topics, you're the only one who sent out a few topics to me. Now, what I would really like to do is, let's look at the topics and then assign members. If you have not done some of that already, at least say, okay, here is who is going to work on what, and then identify gaps, if any, so that we can present it back to them.
Have you, so you haven't shared with him the topics yet?
No, because we haven't spoken and they have only just 2 words which we knew.
So this is an interactive thing in a way, because the topics we work on need to be topics he wants us to work on, right?
Correct. So there are certain topics he is already aware because we have talked through him over the years, right, last year. But then we got to say, okay, here is the topics we have people working on, and here is the gap. Again, they may say, well,
I mean, all the sustainable CT topics, because we're reviewing all of them, right, topic by topic, so that we can kind of get ahead of that. That was kind of like one of the things. And then in addition to our other projects. So if we need, like, I think, you know, we're not really leaving anything off the table. I think we need to be knowledgeable, and then some things we'll choose to dig into further. I think, you know, projects with the school, projects with the that we're doing with the leaf blowers, projects that we're doing with energy, you know, we can kind of list.
Well, I'm going to list them because, you know, we had sent that, right? So we have the sustainable city topics that itself is really how do we make it.
So we
That's a project,
use the spreadsheet of topics if you want to go that route.
No, we can do that too. I'm saying that itself is an effort, right? Reviewing that whole list,
right.
That can be a category that requires a lot of manpower.
Correct.
Yeah, right. But like so what we chose to do, and I'm showing my computer to Mohan, but you know, so Carolyn went over, you know, the inclusive and equitable community impact area, and you know, I think that there's opportunities there, like all the things we want to do, we need to do under that and to build on. So, you know, we need to investigate this, we need to investigate that, and it kind of just goes topic by topic. If you wanted to, you know, do a summary of these topics and submit it to John, that's a potential answer to the question of.
No, but because we cannot work on all of them, my question is, if the topic we say food scraps is working on it, right? We said leaf blower will work on it. And then
Yeah.
this whole energy efficiency thing, which is which I'm going to look at, right? If we say here are the people how we are assigned, and here are additional topics, because certainly there are so many things that we can't tackle all of them.
But we need to be
Yeah.
knowledgeable in all of them.
Correct. That's
We need to have
education, right? Yeah.
some degree of expertise in all of them just to understand what's required and what the opportunities are and what the improvements are, right? So I think to some degree, we could perhaps list them all out. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to limit ourselves to just those 4 topics that we're working on and say, these are the only 4 things we're working on, because there's a little bit we need to know about a lot of different topics.
But we're also going to have to focus because we can't do
Yeah.
everything.
I always have that. So.
So, I mean, one of the things I find a little difficult is, suppose we have 3 things we're working on, just
Yep.
3 things.
Yep.
And so how do you get from there to how many people we need? I mean, we need somebody to take over secretary, right?
Yes.
There, under each topic, there are lots of different things that need to be done.
I wonder if we could put a time, like a number of hours per month or per year, if they're quantitative.
But this also are the availability. I mean, so you work too, don't you? You're a mother and you're a working mother,
That.
right? Okay. So how much time do you have available? And Abby, can't even be here today. How much time does she have available? She's done some good work, by the way, which I'll share some of it with you. So, you might have somebody who can do 3 hours a week and somebody who can do 8 hours a week, but they're both contributing. I mean, it doesn't cost the town anything for us to have more members. I don't understand the impediment.
Yeah.
The hard thing is finding people willing to do the work.
Right. Good
I think,
people.
I think that is fine. That is fine. But well, that we have had the problem. That's why we ended up with losing those 2 seats, because we couldn't even fill them. That's a separate
Right.
problem, right?
Right, but now
Right.
we.
But
There is
have people.
okay, so we can say, so
Yeah.
there is also the fairness in the ask, which is, what are you guys going to focus on for the year?
That's a fair
ask.
question.
Yeah.
Right, we should be able
Irrespective of
to-
the manpower thing.
We should be able to
Oh,
articulate
definitely.
that and say, look, here is what we want to do,
That-
and here's the people we need.
Well, could
That's second,
we,
right?
could we
Yeah.
have like stretch goals? Like, if this, then that, like, if we get 2 more people, then we could do more. But if we're limited to us, then we won't be able to tackle those things.
So I think having the topics well identified as our focus is a definite thing we have to do.
Yes.
And the question that how much manpower do you need for that is a different question. And
That's fine.
it becomes, the more help we can get, the better job we can do with it.
Cliff,
Yeah, and
I'm
honestly,
curious
I would
about
start the-
what topics Cliff had proposed. I know we didn't see that.
What, can you repeat that?
She's saying everyone didn't see what Cliff had proposed in the email.
Oh, right, because I'm sorry about that. It's because I didn't want to have an illegal committee meeting.
Yes.
No, that's fine. I was just curious
We
to
can
see
talk
what
about
you
them now.
thought was
We
priority.
can talk about them, right? So, yeah.
So
I think, Cliff, you had said food scrap, leaf blowers, energy efficiency. Was anything
No, I
else?
didn't say energy efficiency. I think I
Wait,
said,
waste
electric
and
vehicles, maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
But there's
And-
other things we want to do,
well,
like we want to put out
absolutely.
surveys. You talked about plastic bags, there's just
Yeah,
like,
but we need focus, right?
yeah.
Okay, there are lots of these.
But honestly, I would start the whole thing with, so we achieved, sustainable CT silver certification.
Well,
And that's a huge accomplishment. And we need more manpower to support the ongoing efforts related to that.
Yeah, that's one
You know?
topic, right? Again, that's okay. I'm going to say, look,
But how many
we
topics
want
are
to tackle all of them. We want to tackle all of those topics, but for this year, here is going to be our focus. I'm not able to say that. If I say, well,
Yeah.
all of them, they're like, all
yeah,
over.
that's ridiculous.
Hey.
Sorry, Cliff is pulling the list
But
up.
I'm trying to find what I sent.
Oh.
you.
Yeah, you copied me on it, so I can pull it up too.
Maybe I did it for the towns thing. I'm not very facile with this, form of email.
I have it here. So gas powered leaf blowers.
Yeah.
That's one. EV rollout plan for town. I'm gonna include that as all energy related. Expand food scrap diversion programs.
Yeah.
Educate residents regarding single stream do's and don'ts. Yeah. Earth Day week month presentations.
Mm,
Yeah.
which we need to start planning now. If we're gonna do that.
Yeah.
But we need a liaison to work with the library. We need a liaison to work with the businesses. We need, a liaison to work with the schools, right? And those are we want to know what they're doing. I would suggest we need a liaison to work with the Green Wave, and we need to be in the know and be able to update each other. And I think if that was just up to this small group, we wouldn't be able to even.
And then we need
Yeah.
the social media that needs.
Social media, it's a whole other thing that three of us haven't even been able to think for months.
Yeah, we talk about these things, but we're not getting a lot of them done.
So Cliff's proposition here, they're basically rollovers from prior years as well, right,
Correct.
Cliff? There have been ways in which you've already tried to address these and not, right? So I would imagine year after year, there's going to be a set of topics like Earth Days every year. So there are certain things that just have to be on the list, right? Beyond that, there are specific focus areas, and those items have to be called out in a particular year. So I think it's important to differentiate that also.
So can we do one thing? We have these topics now. Can I say we make sure who is aligned with what topic at least? So that way they take the lead. I know that Cliff's taking lead on some, right? Abby's and you, maybe we just align people so that it's clear to everyone, so that then we also know where the gap is and where we need.
So, just taking the, leaf blowers, there are gonna be subsets of that.
Yes.
That are gonna require somebody to lead each subset. So, I mean, if you take leaf blowers, I don't think just say Abby.
Right,
You know,
yes.
Abby's gonna do maybe 1/4 of it.
Yes.
So
Yeah, okay. Who do we, okay, again, right, so I'm happy to help with the leaf blower because I had done some studies there. And if you are involved, are you, I guess, with Abby?
Yeah, I had a great meeting with her. We're trying to progress things.
Okay. Good, okay. Well, yeah, the problem is three of us can't meet in the current form, so it has to be two people for now.
Well, but that's another reason to have a bigger committee.
Yeah.
Because then your
Yeah.
subcommittees can be a little
Subcommittees can be bigger,
bigger.
yes, okay. All right, Cliff and Abby, fine. Okay. And the energy thing, I'm gonna take it myself. That's fine, I can talk about that. Actually, would you be interested in joining any of these? Because you can be in any of these.
What is
all of
that?
these.
Oh, right. Well,
I can also support you if you like, Mohan. I'm not sure
yeah, I
what
can support
work you've done
wherever.
before.
So we have food scraps stuff. We have Earth Day week, the
I
Earth
don't
Day
wanna go for food
presentation
scrap.
stuff.
No. The first crap.
And then social media
No, the food
communication.
scrap.
thing.
Oh, food scraps.
Sorry.
Yeah, food scraps. So who wants what?
She gets food scraps.
Well, I mean,
Or Cliff
I'm
gets food
not
scraps.
technically on the committee, so I mean, I'm happy to work with.
We can't even list her on the committee.
Right.
I'm saying, but she can be in any committee. She can be part of any three members.
But she's not gonna be what you're giving to John, because
Right.
he's not on our committee.
Right.
That's fine. Yeah, she's not. I'm not gonna give.
That's a good point.
So I'm trying to do some things with respect to food scraps for sure.
Cliff gets food scraps.
Cliff is on
And
two
I'll
committees.
support Cliff with that.
Okay, Cliff is doing two of them. Okay, sustainable CT topics. Yes,
Well,
Sorry,
that,
keep going.
that's
That-
everyone,
that's the whole committee.
This whole
and they're
committee, yep.
dedicating a lot of meetings. to
all of
try
us.
and Pull out of that what needs to be done.
Yes. So, Suman, we got the energy efficiency piece, we got the Earth Day, and then your social media stuff. And then administration. Let me ask you a question. There has been an ask for a new secretary. Is that something you would be interested? Suman?
I'm sorry, what does that entail again?
It would entail taking the meeting notes and then submitting the notes with whatever Lauren is doing today.
Oh, so should we just not use these note taker notes?
No,
For
there has
that?
to be an official, yeah, we can. There has to be an
Okay.
official secretary who does it and sends it out to the town. After the meeting is done, there are certain rules on send within 7 days, etc. Amend and talk, right? So those are stuff which Lauren does today, and she wants to take a break. So she's looking
I
for
see.
one.
Okay, I mean, I guess I could do that.
Okay.
I think just on that, I think you may have already just said it, Suman, but apparently AI can generate minutes.
I
and
think so.
basically
It's
all you
good
need to
enough.
do is
Mhm.
edit them to make sure it doesn't make mistakes and that it's included what we want and it's not excessively long and so on. And much easier than doing it from scratch.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to figure out. So we need to figure out. I tried to do that with my notes taker. That does not, for some reason, it doesn't give me. Yeah, we'll figure that out. So we're asking if someone wants,
Yeah.
because the secretary, please. So she wants to. She's happy to. So if you can connect with someone and then.
Starting with the next meeting.
To do what? I'm sorry. To do
Secretary.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Okay, didn't hear that part.
You'd be
Starting-
happy about
Woohoo.
that.
Make note in your minutes there, dear.
I'm making a big note.
Because you keep saying
Highlight.
you
and
brought up
underline
voice now, so we
goal.
want to go on with that and say, yeah, that's okay.
Okay.
So now we have the topics. Earth Day, this is all about communication piece, right? Social media, Earth Day, the presentation. So
Yeah.
well, talk about Earth Day,
Community education.
community education. So who wants to be part of these work streams?
I think you're going to have everybody working on these things.
No, but we need a lead. For example, Earth Day as an activity, you need to talk to the library, prepare for presentation, prepare for topics. So we need some lead.
Okay. So Earth Day. Earth Day. This is just Earth Day
Yeah, let's pick up on,
in April.
yes.
Yeah, I can do that.
There's a lot of coordination still needed, yeah.
I mean, yeah. What's the topic? What are we doing?
Yeah,
What are
still we can talk about
all the
those.
things?
Yeah,
And
but still.
I don't want to do it last minute, right?
Yes.
Like I want to
Yeah.
be prepared like
Yeah.
months ahead of time, which
Which
like
is now.
Right, and especially if you want to collaborate with the library and get on
Right.
their
They
calendar.
already have their calendar for the year. like
Yes.
that, So
They do, but I think that there's some wiggle room there for especially some daytime programming.
yeah.
Joanne Gabriel would be the person to contact. I think you know her, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess I just like, I'm not gonna just call and say like, hey, we want to do a Earth Day event with you. I want to say like specifically, like, this is what we want to do. What do
Yeah.
what do you have planned? Like,
Well, I think we talked at the last meeting that like some of the stuff coming out of the application can kind of inform like what we might want to do with Earth Day because
Yeah.
we get points for certain programming and educating the public about certain things, which
Right.
is something we get points for, but it's also something we should do
Right.
anyway.
what topics should we do?
So like, one of the, well, I was gonna talk about it when we got to the right section, but, the food scrap program, recycling right, because there's always a lot of questions from the public about, how to recycle. And I think we had talked about at the last meeting, how it's better to put the corrugated cardboard in the designated hopper as opposed to in with the single stream recycling if you're bringing it to the dump. And, we could do something.
Do we want to
with,
just cover waste?
Um,
And then we can,
that's broad. You could maybe pose that to her and then it could be refined leading up to. It also depends on who's going to speak. Like last time Kathy Finnegan gave a really great presentation on, she did talk about the food scrap program as a part of reducing waste, but it was sort of a combination of things. It was recycling right, reducing waste, which the food scrap program was a part of, and other things, using the swap shop, other things that residents can do to keep things out of the waste stream. But it could also be like the section that you worked on. It could involve something with removing invasive plants, planting pollinator gardens to it, native plants, any of those things could be part of Earth Day, I think. programming.
Yeah. I mean, do we want to ask Kathy to do hers again?
We could. I think I had volunteered to contact her at the last meeting and I have not done that yet. So
Okay. Well, yeah, why don't we do, and then I can ask Joanne for a date after I.
yeah, it could be
hear from
any
you.
time during April. I mean, it's always been like Earth Day, but it's kind of morphed
Yeah.
into Earth
I think
Month.
we have to move on.
Okay. I mean, this is the Earth Day meeting is a whole nother meeting. Like it could be a whole
Yep, good.
hour or two long.
So Suman, sorry, I had put you, because you said, you're gonna work on the topics. I had put you along with myself on the energy efficiency / EV topics. That's okay?
That's fine.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Now, we still have this social media thing we haven't figured out. We still need to figure that out.
We should do that
We
offline.
need somebody for that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
we need a whole communications
Person.
program plan, which
Yes.
includes social media as a big piece of it, but
Mhm.
also
Writing things to
visibility.
submit to
Yeah,
the newsletter.
right,
town
newsletter. I mean, a bunch of different outlets that we could perhaps get out there on,
Really,
right?
what you're just doing is showing we need help. There's something, we don't have anybody.
Right.
I gotta be
That's a
able
good
to,
point.
we just need to articulate to them and then, the thing is, it's a case, like business case. I'm trying to make a business case, that's all.
Well, I would understand that if we were paying people, but since we're not.
But that's okay, but
It's,
yeah.
we've been asked for, we'll do. it.
Agree, what we'll do, yeah, okay. I think we have enough information. So, if they would like us to go to the selectmen's committee, so I'll find out, how many of us can go, all of us can go, or some of us can go, and then
Well,
go and talk to them.
So do we want to assign leads for things now? Is that,
That's what we just did,
okay, so Cliff was food scraps.
yep. Leaf
And
blowers, Cliff and
I did
Abby,
the Earth Day stuff. Leaf blowers, Cliff and Abby.
yep,
Suman's gonna do secretarial stuff and help you with energy.
yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Energy efficiency initiatives, okay? So yeah, the social media / communications, that we still want to figure out still.
Okay. I mean, I guess the three of us have been working on that. so-
Yeah, we can put myself and your name there, and that's fine, until somebody shows up. Okay, very good.
Got it.
So, that's good. On the sustainable city, the certification process itself, we had the special meeting, I could not conduct because I had no quorum
I
and
don't think I got the email for that.
invite.
Didn't happen. We didn't have
Yeah.
a quorum.
We didn't have the quorum. So I had to cancel it. And then it did not make sense to me because Amanda was coming in. I did not want just one or two of us talking to her.
Right.
I said, that's not right. So we should have at least few people when she's talking to us. So
So rescheduling?
yeah, so if you guys let me know who will be available for the next special meeting,
Well, if you
When?
adjust the date, the,
that's going to be the 2 weeks from this today. Like we have
2 weeks from today.
Okay.
So the
The Wednesday.
25th of February.
February 25th.
At what time?
8 p.m.
Okay.
Okay.
So
And it's going to be virtual, correct?
it's very virtual. I can try and get Amanda to come into that.
Okay.
I'll ask her. If not, we will have to do another topic amongst ourselves and then go from there.
Okay.
So
I'm available.
I'm pretty sure I'm available.
Okay. So someone 25th, if you can look up.
8 o'clock.
Yeah,
in
that
the
works for
evening.
me too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll send out the invitation so that you will all have it. At least we'll have the meeting and then we'll figure out if Amanda can come in. That's fine. Okay. I know I had put 20 minutes. I don't think we're reviewing any specific topic today. So unless there is something else we want to talk about sustainable city, I recommend we move on to the leaf blowers because it does have an update.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. I'm just, the sustainable CT, that's why you're here, for the sustainable CT.
Yeah,
We
You
need.
want to go through, you want to go through
we
it? Are you
need to
prepared
make
for the question? I did
make
not
sure
say.
that that's done today, otherwise.
so I'll be very brief. I was planning to talk about recycle additional materials 9.3 and sort of using Cliff's rubric of like, what did we learn from it? What can we learn going forward? That's how I looked at it. So we got 85 points in this category, and I think we very safely going forward can get 40 points for recycling additional materials because that's not really changing. We continue to recycle textiles, mattresses, smoke detectors, and oh gosh,
It's-
Are you-
mattresses
Oh, wow.
and paint. Yes.
Wait, are you
So-
saying we can get 40 points next time?
Yes. Yeah.
In addition to the 85?
No, no,
Or
no,
just,
no.
just for, okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about what we, first, I'm talking about what we can maintain. Then I'm talking about what we will need to do to maintain, and then some possible maybe pickup points.
Okay.
So we're good for 9 point, the first one,
How are we
9.1.
recycling mattresses?
We are recycling mattresses.
It's not like where they bring them to the dump, sorry.
No.
Yeah,
Side
you
note.
bring them to the transfer station. There's a
Right.
place to put them.
And they put them in a container and they go to a place, I believe in Bridgeport, and they're deconstructed. It's through Bye Bye Mattress. Does not cost the town any money at all. It's a pass-through program. And yeah. oh,
Sorry, I
sorry.
think that's very interesting though, like, and that's something that we could cover at the Earth Day thing. So it's kind of like all.
And that's something
Okay.
that when I was
I
doing
didn't
the
know that.
social media, if you look back
Yeah,
at some of the old things, you'll see that I periodically talked about
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So
Okay.
you're
Okay.
saying we can recycle, one of the things we've learned is that we can recycle additional materials. What can we recycle additional?
Well, let's see, what did they list? I would have to look at the list. I think, no, we maxed out. We got the full complement of points. There's
But you're
nothing
talking
more.
about points. I'm talking about, lessons learned. You're saying we learned from this that we can recycle additional materials, right?
Mhm. Well,
So what additional materials can we recycle?
Mm,
we could do glass separately. Some communities are doing that because, as you know, glass
Styrofoam.
kind of, it doesn't really get recycled. It's used as alternate daily cover. It gets shipped out of state for landfills.
Not completely. I just went to.
Or those, that's true. But the glass that they're taking, they do take some single stream glass, but they take more glass that's collected separately,
Okay,
I think.
Interesting.
okay.
Because there's there's a hugely extra step in there of having to clean the single stream glass because it's got paper in it.
We can't even get people to do our multi-stream or properly. I mean,
So then, but
are we going to be able to get our people?
I don't think we should. I mean, you asked what additional materials can we recycle?
Yeah.
That's something that other communities are doing that we're not. That's
Right.
all I'm stating.
Perfect.
Okay. So then, we also, will be safe with the food scrap program. As long as we maintain that, we got 15 points for that. And for the swap shop, as long as that's maintained, we'll get points for that. What we have to do to keep the points that we got this time is some of the programming that we did. And I mentioned some of that Kathy did. She gave a presentation to the RTM. She did a presentation at the library. I did some composting work with the Dairy and Nature Center with their Spring into Nature. So we're going to have to look at we're going to have to look at those and see like what can we do, what sort of outreach can we do to the community on some of these topics to keep, to maintain those points. And
I
then
find this leads into the communications calendar with the social media newsletter plus presentations at the library or to the RTM or whatever, we do. And like, this is the topic. This is what we're doing to communicate it to different audiences, right? And so whatever it is, can we structure that around the communication, have some sort of like schedule in mind so it's not ad hoc and we have something planned.
That
Some
becomes
kinda-
automated. That's what we're talking
Yeah,
about. That
right,
becomes an
right,
automatic process versus having to,
having
like,
to
find
build from
things-
nothing. Yes.
and we might be able to effective
Right.
or make justify them.
Like
Yeah.
there's so many topics. So
So
sorry.
this feels to me like what we're doing is anticipating and planning for a new sustainable CT application in 3 years. Is that what the committee wants to do?
No, but I think it's
No. So, well,
could go with along
naturally
with,
happening.
right.
Let's say the education has, like, if you're educating the community, if that's our goal, it naturally gets to the point. We are not doing for other points, right?
it's stuff that perhaps
It
should be done
happens.
anyway.
Anyway,
But all of this is, if we do this, we can get so many points. If we do that, we can get so many points. We should be doing this to get points. And
Plus,
it just
add a
feels
value
like
to
we're
the community.
planning for a new application rather than what I thought we were going to do, which is to say, when we did this, we learned that we could recycle this and we're not doing it. We should look into recycling
So-
this.
Let me ask you a question based on that. So would you rather, in a reactionary approach, say, hey, we did this presentation. Oh, can we get points for it? Oh, man, if we covered that tiny little 2-minute thing, we could have gotten points, but we didn't do it. Darn, we're not going to get it. Right. And so why not be proactive and say, oh, we think that it would be add value to the community under sustainability to do this talk. Hey, we could check a box for sustainable CT. Why not? Why not make sure we check that box and get those points? It'll make everybody's life easier.
I think Lauren has summarized it really well. I mean, I think that the application, I see both of your points. I know Cliff hates this application. He does not see value in it, but it
Oh,
does.
I do see some value in it.
It does
especially
provide
the
a nice
first time.
framework for, what communities
Yeah.
can do to be sustainable. And a lot of it does have to do with outreach to the community on different topics.
So
Like, there's some
that to me
science
would be the
into it.
lesson learned. Here are the 5 topics we need to do outreach on.
Got it.
It's not
I
like,
think we're putting the emphasis on the wrong syllable.
I just.
No,
I
it
don't
may be
think-
coming across that way because it's focused on sustainable CD, but the topics are still relevant and they must happen. And then we just get the side benefit.
There's some science that went in
Yeah.
behind the development of sustainable CT. They
I
didn't
tot-
just say like, oh, we think the communities and the municipalities should do all these things. Like
Yeah.
there's some,
I totally get that.
Processes.
You know, I've done this 3 times now.
yeah. And I think,
And
these
diminishing
people,
returns. I mean, that's what we're trying to get out of this. What are the returns? What did we learn from this?
Would you like the lights? In the lights, but would you like them?
No.
We're saving energy.
Yeah.
Saving energy, I love
Okay, so
Yeah.
what else have we learned here?
Okay, so there are some things that are not, there's some things that we tried in the past that didn't work, but they might work going forward. One of them would be metrics on relating to our waste, our municipal solid waste. I believe Craig worked with Darren Ostafine, both in 2019 and 2022. We didn't get points either time. It's very difficult because we don't have the town picking up trash. We have a system where people hire private haulers and they don't always just pick up in Darien. They sometimes pick up in Stamford or Newark or wherever. Anyway, that's something that going forward, we could look at if the haulers have been able to refine how they collect their data on the municipal solid waste. So that's something that I was planning to talk to Darren about. Let's see, what else? I would actually rather just write a summary of this and forward it to you because I have so many notes now. I
Yeah, that
can't
would be
keep
great.
it straight.
That's what.
I think I'll do that. Yeah.
Outstanding.
Yeah, I think that would probably make a lot more sense. And then we have something concrete to work from too.
and I think as an outcome, whether or not planned, we have a unit of measuring success and different categories of sustainability. And without that, I think like we're just kind of like doing projects and choosing our passion projects. It wouldn't be a measurable quantitative, sort of quasi-quantitative assessment or approach to sustainability, right? So I think this whole thing is like kind of keeping us focused as we
We
go
have,
through.
I just met with Ed Gentile and they do a quarterly report showing the statistics of what's going into the waste stream. How much is single stream, how much is this, how much is that?
Yeah.
And actually, our waste is going up like a rocket.
Hmm.
And he thinks that some of it may be coming from other towns because our tipping fees are, whatever.
Right.
Anyway, yeah, I don't want to get sidetracked into that. I actually, I do want to say that, that we have with the haulers a ton of recyclable stuff that is not being recycled. It's all going into the incinerator. And if we could do something about that, that would be a huge win. I'm just looking for the picture I took of this stuff, the cardboard, the glass, everything.
And where did you get this? Where are you basing this on? So this is what?
That is in the shed in our transfer.
Oh, no,
transfer
that's stream
It's
recycling.
not single stream recycling.
No, that is, if it's behind the hopper, the waste
Sweetheart,
hopper,
I mean,
but no,
I
Cliff,
met with Ed. I showed him that picture. We talked about it. That includes things that are not single stream. It has all kinds of plastic film in it. It has,
but that could just be because people aren't recycling correctly. I
well,
mean, my understanding has always been, unless this has changed recently, is that because people sometimes get upset about seeing the trucks come in.
at all. They're just plastic bags everywhere. That is not single stream.
Are
It
they
has everything in it.
manually?
But what I'm saying is that area behind the waste hopper is supposed to be for, trucks bringing in single stream that they pick up at residences.
Well, I think the bottom line is that the pickup from residences is not being segregated into proper single stream versus
Yeah.
incinerator.
But that's an issue with the haulers.
It is.
Yeah.
It's the haulers and their customers. And,
Mhm.
you know, do they charge differently? I mean, he believes that the haulers are finding it just easier to throw it all into the dumper, that, you know, they have a small incentive, financial incentive to provide it segregated. I mean, it's like $125.
I mean, it used to be huge, but yes, now
It's
it's
a
not.
relatively small
Yeah.
incentive. And then, of course, the haulers have to charge their people according to how many pickups they're doing. And it's a little bit complicated, but the bottom line is pretty clearly that we're not recycling anywhere near what we should be. And
So
so
I
that's
just have
to
another
me is a big thing, a big thing.
I mean, we could
So-
only work on that.
And I just added it as a specific topic, right? So that's a
Yeah.
specific.
But I
topic.
mean,
It requires
but-
some attention, yeah.
But that, again, I mean, like,
Yeah.
educating residents about
Yes.
that might
Yeah.
not, but it might not necessarily make that much difference. If the residents are doing the correct things, putting their trash in the trash bin and their recycling in the recycling bin, but the haulers are finding it more convenient to commingle,
That's the
that's,
thing.
that's not anything we can really do anything about unless we
Well,
work with the
no, we
haulers.
So
can't.
there's a
Yeah.
law,
It sounds like it's
there's a
both.
law requiring this recycling.
Right.
There is.
I mean,
So
is
this
there,
is breaking the law.
right, are they breaching, right, any laws or contracts, or it is just a conversation to be had because we found it, right?
I mean,
That's-
it may be that we can't do a damn thing about it.
Yeah.
But my feeling is we
Yeah.
definitely ought to dig deep and find
Yes.
out.
Okay.
I know you've done.
Carolyn,
all
I have
this.
Carolyn, I have a question on construction materials. Is there any way the town is tracking the amount of construction materials that are being reused just from a circular economy standpoint?
Materials that are being reused.
Yeah.
We can only and do track what the input, not the output. So.
Not the
we
output.
know that
Okay.
we're segregating these things and they're being hauled away, but we can't attest to what happens to them when they're hauled away. It's like our single stream. You know, we know that single stream stuff, a lot of it's going to get recycled, but some of it actually won't, especially in the plastic category.
But if you're talking about the hoppers that are, to the, I don't know if it's the north of the swap shop where people put construction debris, that
Yep.
just all goes to a waste facility. I don't think I don't think any of that really gets separated and reused as far as I know.
Maybe not. It's taken out separately.
It is taken out separately, yeah, but I think it's just hauled separately.
Yeah, I don't know what they do with it.
So maybe that's, I mean, this committee originally started out as the Transfer Station Advisory Committee. And we dug down on like what everything, all the entire operations of the transfer station. That was 12, 13 years ago now. I mean, maybe it's time to kind of circle back and revisit some of these things, because if the haulers are dumping trash in that area that Cliff just described, that's not what that area was designated for. That area was designated for haulers to bring in the recycling that they had picked up. So if they're putting trash there or if they're commingling it, that's something we should know. And to Cliff's point, we should try to do something about somehow.
Well, the only reason I brought up that question is I know that for certain larger contracts with municipal contracts, construction contracts, there is a lot of value in recycling those construction materials. And I know there are some towns that are offering incentives, or if anything, claiming that it's a circular economy, and they're trying to reuse as much of construction debris as possible. So just, I think, Cliff, you mentioned certain contracting practices or documentation that may support sustainable practices. This would kind of fall within that realm, where next time the town is signing any kind of construction contract with a private entity, they can kind of look to see what their practices are. Are they being sustainable? Are they recycling certain things? What kind of materials are they using for their construction? So
You're talking about the procurement
Yeah.
contract.
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah, no, we now have a new town administrator who might be open to this. The prior one, basically, said she was interested, but, didn't have the time to do it.
That's another topic for.
That is something that comes off sustainable CT.
There you go.
A follow-up
And-
point. Well, we knew this 3 years ago.
And the same
6
thing
years
with
ago.
purchasing too,
Well-
so purchasing of
And
materials.
vetting the vendors to
Mhm.
see what they're.
They go hand in
doing,
hand,
yeah.
right.
So it's kind of like a procurement opportunity to put that in our policy, but also vet the vendors and, make sure they're doing what they say they're doing and encouraging them to do so and have that. Again, I think if we had, the different categories where we focused on just that for like the month,
Yep.
we could
Yep.
kind of hone in.
Well, to hone in, we need more manpower.
Right.
It's all coming clean, right? So
Yeah.
I have 3 topics now just from discussion. One is around, I just said recycling topics, could be anything around recycling, right? And then I have added transfer station efficiency, going back to what you said. Maybe that's something we gotta see. How is it supposed to operate, like things have.
Well, things have changed a lot. I mean, like, just as one example relating to what Cliff
Yeah.
said, I mean, the haulers used to be able to tip
Yes. Yes.
the recyclables for free. They could just drive them in, and that's where they dumped them, behind that hopper.
Right.
So that was recyclables. But now that they have to pay, because the town has to pay to manage recyclables.
Right.
Yeah, that's maybe not happening.
Not to quibble, but it's not about efficiency. It's about accuracy. Getting,
Well, okay,
and it's
I was-
not, so, I mean, I don't want him to think, oh, we're criticizing, Public Works, because we're not. It's really about the haulers and their customers. That's what we really need to be looking at.
Yeah.
So, but the question is, if it's an activity, we are almost reviewing. I was looking at it as, is it working as designed, as efficiently? Meaning, are these people using it the right way? If they're abusing the system, we have a problem. I just wanted to be slightly, we are not, I don't know, are we assigned to go and do review their work? I don't know. It's just
Well,
I don't want to be perceptions.
my feeling is that you've got to sit down with the,
Yeah.
party companies, a bunch of them. How many are there? Like 6 or 8?
6.
6? You got to sit down, I think, with each one of them or their customers, and ask them about the practices, and ask them, is it possible to do this? Is it possible to do that? We observe that this isn't happening.
Okay, then I'm going to just say, okay, let's rephrase this. I'm saying transfer station, carting company practices. Review carting company practices. Is that what you want to do? What exactly?
If you want to do it in a more scientific
Yeah.
based approach,
Yeah.
perhaps we could say we're doing some sort of, I don't want to call it like an audit, but like a review or an audit. And then these are
Study.
the root causes study. These are the root causes that have been identified as contributing to the non-compliance or lower,
We're gonna
numbers or something, I think
Gotta
it's
find a way to
important how
say
we
it the
word it.
right way.
Yeah.
We'll work on it. That's fine.
Yeah, I
We'll
agree.
get the right wording.
I
not
always
to
get the wrong
cause
wording.
unnecessary alarming of,
See,
right?
Yeah.
So that's, we are not auditors by any measure. So we can't, yeah. The last one I have said, sustainable, you're not even, you were. I'm saying that we don't have the authority to be an auditor. That's all.
I'm not officially a town auditor, but
Yes,
I've been a
exactly.
waste auditor, yeah.
And then the last topic I added is sustainable procurement practice. That's the, how are they aligned? But that's a topic for us anyway. Sustainable city. Anyway.
Okay.
Okay, good. Thank you, Caroline. I think you're gonna send us.
Yeah, I'm gonna summarize this.
Summarize this and then. put
Because
it in
I did go through each one of the categories and I sort of,
Yep.
assessed whether or not I think it's something we can
Yep.
do going forward. Some of them more likely, some of them less likely, but yes, I'll just write it up because I think it'll be
Very
easier
good.
for you
Yeah.
and we'll have something concrete to work from.
Yeah. Very good. Now we move on to gas powered leaf blowers.
So did you talk to John about it? We were talking about doing a survey and we wanted to know.
No, I haven't yet. Sorry, messed up. Yeah.
Well,
Did I send a survey?
Sorry, you were supposed to.
you
Can I make a
prepared,
survey?
you made a survey. We've
Can I
had a
make-
chance to look, you did. We
Okay,
had a
good.
chance to look at it.
No, sorry, just to, you were gonna send him an email. Yeah, on that particular topic.
Check the minutes.
We had two different
Yeah.
things.
That's where your minutes. are.
Now, one thing was I was gonna ask him on the people, and Lauren was gonna send him an email. If you haven't, please do ask him. We're gonna do a survey, please. Yeah.
Okay, let me go back to that then.
My understanding, I think, was that you were going to talk to John about this, that there were like 4 or 5 different parts to it and make sure he was all on board. So what I have to report back to you on this is presupposes that he's on board for us to move forward. Abby has met a fellow whose last name she couldn't recall, but his first name is Vincent, who has helped to set up for Greenwich and several other towns. I think he's in Ridgefield, the ordinances about leaf blowers, and has a whole program, and he's happy to help any town to do this, a whole program.
Is he a volunteer? Or does
He would be a volunteer to
Okay.
us.
Where's he from? Greenwich?
Ridgefield, I
Ridgefield.
believe.
Sorry.
They do such things as having a demo. They get the manufacturers of the electric equipment to do a demo for the companies that do leaf blowing around town. So they educate them about the equipment, its efficiencies, its costs, and things like that. They set up in some places a buyback program so that they have invested in all this stuff and you're asking them to change. Well, we'll give you, some credit toward the new equipment. They have also, there's a question about clubs and whether clubs are, and the town actually are probably the biggest ones using this equipment. The biggest area being covered, but not the most people. Anyway, I need to check in with the clubs to see if any of them have tried electric. But also they did a letter campaign to educate people in town, because one of our questions is, how do people feel about this? Well, if they don't know anything about it, they probably don't have any feelings.
Right.
But, a letter campaign laying out for people the health harms from both the gases and the stirred up minerals and the hearing problems that can result from this, and other aspects of it anyway, to sort of let people know the problems that they may not even be aware of. And so anyway, there's a lot that can be done before you say, okay, we want to do an ordinance, to get people ready and aware. We can always talk about how that might be done. I can understand it might not be necessarily the town that would want to necessarily do this letter campaign, for example. Maybe that's the green wave. But it would help us to get in the direction of doing something about this problem.
There might
Yeah.
be some interest
Good
also
idea.
from the land trust about
Yeah,
leaf blowers.
yeah.
Yeah, because I was speaking with the executive director about it recently, so that should maybe, collaborate there.
Very possibly. But this all presupposes that we're not going to be told, sorry,
Yeah.
Prefer you didn't work on that.
No, I think there was no constraint on us working on leaf blowers. There is no constraint. Right.
Well, if we want to do a survey of town residents.
That's a question. That's a question we need to ask. Let's say that we have the survey. The question is, are we going to roll it out on behalf of the committee, and whether John is willing to put it in his newsletter? That's one avenue we're taking, right? Let's say if they won't, then I think if Green Wave can do it, they can do it.
Yeah,
It's not something,
although they may have a different audience. But
but I don't think that would be an issue. So let's find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's been terrific, actually, is that in the town newsletters, they've started putting in some sustainability topics that
Leah's been
Yeah.
submitting that stuff,
are
yeah.
terrific.
Yeah, you're gonna see one on the food scrap program in the next one. Just,
So-
yeah.
So I mean, I'm glad she's doing it. I
Partner.
assume that you helped
What?
I
her.
wish we could partner,
Yeah.
like.
This is the kind of thing that we should
Yes.
be
Well,
initiating.
the last talk at the library had like 3 different environmental, partnerships, and, we certainly could have been a supporter and got mentioned.
This is the one about
Like
the
that.
woods and
Yeah. Which I enjoyed.
Mhm.
Were you there?
Yeah, I was there.
I was there.
My husband was there too.
yeah, I didn't,
Cliff was there.
I was there with my wife. I didn't, anyway, we
in the
didn't get
back.
sidetracked on
Yeah.
that.
But yeah, I mean, I think to get us out there supporting these things and partnering with
Very
them,
good. Yeah.
because
I
then
think
they
this is
could
good.
put it out
Yeah.
there for us, like you mentioned,
Yeah.
so.
So we need more manpower to do that too.
Put it on the
Yes,
list.
coming back to
Put it
that.
on the list. I agree, we need a lot more manpower. for all
Well, I
of the
think we
things.
also have to be very careful about focus because there's only so much we can.
All over the place, I want to do all the things,
Yeah.
Well,
but,
that's the problem, right? So that's why we want to make
Right.
sure we can pick what we can truly add value to. Otherwise, everything will be splintered.
And get
Right.
something accomplished.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Because we-
Spinning our wheels.
Sometimes it's the low hanging
Right.
that you want to attack first,
Yeah.
just because you can get it done.
Absolutely.
I don't know if,
Yeah,
gas powered leaf blowers are the low hanging.
I don't,
Then-
I don't know
By-
either,
by
but
means.
I think like in terms of like an Earth Day event, I think,
Yeah,
replicating a program that we did a couple of years ago and doing, that's, and it's
Yeah.
an important program. I mean, we have a whole bunch of new residents in town with all this building going
Yeah.
around, so there are a lot of, it's not like if we did something once, it's one and done. I mean,
Yeah.
it needs to be done
yeah,
repeatedly.
yeah. I just don't want to throw it together ad hoc without like a comprehensive approach to why we're doing what we're doing,
Mhm.
and why and how.
Well, because it's important to reach out to
Right,
residents
Right,
about
I mean,
these
we know that,
topics.
but like, if we had like a plan for the year and we could say, okay, April, we're gonna do Earth Day and this is what we're gonna do, and this is why, and this is how, and this is who, and this is, just all the
Let's see what's.
pieces.
Yeah, you're doing
Right.
it.
Figure it out
But,
first.
but there's
So-
other months
complaining?
too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So I mean, even the gas, gas powered leaf blower topic, it's not that we can't do, right? It takes time to get there, but
Yeah.
these are all the things we need to be doing.
Yeah.
There has to be education, there has to be people asking for it, right? I mean, we can get through these steps. We can make some progress, at least
Right.
the minimum.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, even if there's, even prior to any discussion of an ordinance
Right,
or
right,
anything,
right.
you just
Yeah.
raising public awareness
Exactly.
about this, like
Yes.
there are companies that market themselves as, only electric companies, then residents can decide for themselves, do I want, maybe people will just on their own hire these companies as opposed to companies that don't employ electric leaf blowers. So I mean, it's good just to like start raising awareness about this stuff.
So while we are on the topic of this electric thing, so somebody from Energize City contacted me or email, and they wanted to talk about the energy efficiency program for the town. And it looks like some of the towns have collaborated with this company,
We did before.
right?
Yeah. Were you on the committee
What do you guys?
when we worked with Energize?
Stevie?
I think, was that something Craig did?
Yeah.
I think I was on the committee, but I wasn't involved with it.
Yeah, I wasn't really involved in it either, but we got a couple grants from them and we did like a light bulb exchange. We changed out helped pay to change out the lighting at the paddle hut, I think, at Weed Beach. I mean, we had the grant money from them to do that. But I don't remember all the details.
Yeah, it looks like they can do a partner website for the town, right? So it will say it's a Darien town through the NJCP, and then people can go, there are lots of resources, ask questions, and they can also do some of the outreach, the way we're talking about their topics. So I'm wondering if we can get them to talk to the committee. I said I'll talk to you guys to know that they can come in and talk maybe for 15, 20 minutes.
I already know I love it, and
Okay.
we're gonna need to sell it, so we need to understand it, but
Yes.
that's a great idea.
You love everything, Lauren.
I do. I do love everything. I want to do it all. But, but if it's a state sanctioned and approved website that we could simply link, it could be low hanging fruit where we just need a check from John that says like, oh yeah, like
Right.
link it. Yeah.
Is that what it is?
That's not, actually, it's going to say it's energy efficiency and Darien. We are going to be like, it's our website specific page.
To me, it's
Yes.
like a no brainer.
Yeah. So anyway, so I'll find out more. I did tell them, send me a proposal of what exactly you're talking, but
Right.
they sounded like a broker to the NHSCT. I said, okay, I'll try to sell us something. It's, I don't know what it is. I said, send me some details. They're going to send me. And I also invite them so that we can talk more about it. We can find out. Yeah. All right. So that's all about the topic. So waste management. Anything more on waste management?
I think that what I wanted to talk about, we talked about earlier,
Okay.
that massive
Okay.
recyclables that are not being recycled.
Mm.
All right. Any other business?
Okay, so maybe we should just do like on our next meeting, like just like, or have like a separate meeting to just finish gas powered leaf blower project. Would that be more focused?
You're not gonna get it finished.
But to move it
How do you
forward,
finish?
you know what I mean? Like to just focus on it, make some decisions.
But wouldn't moving it forward entail you getting in touch with John to see
Yeah.
if the
Well,
survey?
I don't know, because Abby sent me an email with all this information that she wanted to go over that had other information, and I didn't
You
get
can
any
review. No,
feedback
that's
on the
okay. So-
survey either, so there's
So-
other things that aren't just me emailing
good.
John.
Survey looks good. Now let's agree. So are you going to send an email to John or do you want me to do it?
Let me look back at the notes, and who was.
Wait, you keep saying
that, because I don't think.
It's gonna be by email.
Ask him, yeah, it's going to be an email saying, look, here's what I put, so what do you think, right? So
Yeah.
then he can come back. Yeah.
Was that January 14th? Mohan will reach out to the town about the webpage. I did that. Okay, action for all committee members. Please review and make changes to the document that Lauren sent, which is the survey and the town summary. So I sent that, and then Abby wanted to, I think, talk about it. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know where we left off on that.
Well, I think the precedent, the condition precedent to that is having John on board that we're gonna do a survey.
Which needs to be the first hurdle.
I mean, so once
Okay.
we know we're gonna have a survey, then we can
I mean,
really focus on that.
I thought we were gonna do it regardless. If it's not sanctioned in the newsletter, we were gonna go through the green waiver.
Right. That's the second, right? So two things, right? One is that, look, as part of this project, we want to do a survey and he may
Yeah.
want to see the survey and that's okay.
Right, if he wants to see the survey,
That's
how
okay.
have you
Question
guys
I'm
looked
asking
at
is-
it to make sure it's okay for
I looked at it.
eyes to see?
You
Okay,
know, it's a great first draft.
Yeah.
It's great. I mean, it's
right.
80%.
Yeah.
80%. That he can make his judgment
That's
based
fine.
on that.
That's fine.
But I mean, I
You can actually can also just link it to him and say, you can share it with him and here's the survey we want to do. With your permission, we can put in your town letter. That would be good. So what do you think?
I can email him.
Okay.
there are four components, I think, to what we were telling you. You know, our whole plan has four components to it. Right? There are two surveys, they're like, or is it three? The users, vendors, and then other towns, the comparison with other towns, which is what Abby's been working very hard on. And what's the fourth thing? I think there's a fourth thing. It's all in your thing. I mean, because you even have the survey. Were there four or three?
I don't.
We can look at it. That's
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, we are settled on that. Good.
Yeah.
Right, I think motion to adjourn the committee.
So moved.
Okay.
1 hour.
You have to vote.
All in favor?
Aye,
Suman, favor?
yeah,
Okay.
Seconding.
we're adjourned. You stop recording now?